So let's take a look and see how to build this thing called a unit circle. So we're going to build a unit circle. That's a horrible C right there. Well, we're going to build a unit circle. Well, the first thing you need to know is all the angles on a unit circle, with the exception of the X and Y axis, are special right triangles that you studied in geometry. So we're going to be having to deal with the 30, 60, 90 rectangle and the 45, 45, 90 triangle. So all of my angles, all of my points and angles that I'm going to come up with are going to come from these special right triangles. That's why I had you watch some videos on reviewing how to do special right triangles. So let's just get started. So I have a circle here. It's on an XY plane. This is the origin. Now the unit circle has a radius of 1. So my radius is 1. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, of my special right triangle is my lowest angle, which is 30 degrees. So I'm going to draw in an angle in standard position of 30 degrees. I'm going to erase this. And I'm going to draw my reference triangle in here. Now my radius is right here, which is going to be the hypotenuse. But I want to figure out this point P, what is the X and Y value of it? And I don't even need this point P. I just want to know what is the X and Y value of this point right there. Well, my X is here, my Y value is here. It's just from plotting points. We used to plot points, you would count over on the X's, count up on the Y's. It's the same thing. Well, let's see. Special right triangles is going to basically tell us that across from my 30 degrees is going to be half of my hypotenuse, so my Y value is 1/2, and this is going to be the square root of 3 times the side opposite of 30 degrees. So this becomes the square root of 3 over 2. And there's our first point. So if I do this again, and now I'm going to go from 30 to 45 on my special right triangle. So now this is 45 degrees. My radius is still 1, which is the hypotenuse. I need to know my X and my Y value right here. Well, if you remember, all right, so we're working on this 45, 45, 90 triangle. Now, if we remember from our special right triangles, whenever we have a 45, 45, 90 triangle, I have A, square root of 2. Well, I look here and I have a hypotenuse, and that's all I have. But I have a formula here. I can actually say A square root of 2 equals 1. I'm going to solve for A, then I'll have my sides. I'm going to have A equals 1 over the square root of 2. I'm going to multiply by the square root of 2 over square root of 2, rationalize my denominators, and I get the square root of 2 over 2. Now what's nice is my X and my Y are going to be the same. So this is the square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. All right, well, I've done 30, I've done 45. Well, the next one would have been 45, and then let's do 60. So we're going to draw another circle, and we're coming up way up here this time, and now I want to know what this point is when it's 60 degrees. So I'm going to draw in my reference triangle. I need to know my X and my Y value. My radius is still 1. Well, it's basically this triangle, because this was 30, 60, 90, and they just switch. So now my 60 degrees is my Y value, so this becomes my 1/2, and my X is square root of 3 over 2. Let see. I had a senior moment there, and I don't mean like a senior in high school moment. All right, so there are some points. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up so we can actually have one where we're starting to build. And I'm going to use symmetries with these points to fill out the rest of my unit circle. All right, so I now have these three. This was 30 degrees, this was 45, and this is, so let's put in some lines here. Let's call this 30 degrees, 45, and 60. Okay, well we know this right here, center position is 0 degrees. So all these are degrees, not radians. Make sure I have my degree symbol. If my radius is 1, this point has to be 1, 0. This point here, let's say at 90 degrees, well this has to be 0, 1. So now I have all of quadrant 1 starting from 0 degrees and 90 degrees. So now let's just fill out, what do you think this point is going to be? Well, we're going in the negative direction, so it's going to be negative 1, 0. And then this point right here is going to be 0, negative 1. Well, if this is 90, this is going to be 180 degrees. Another 90 makes this 270 degrees. And then we're back over here to 360 degrees. And 0 and 360 are coterminal. And after that, everything just starts to repeat. They're all coterminal. All right. So let's do a symmetry trick to fill out the rest of these quadrants. So I'm going to do, let's do 30 degrees. So I have my 30 degrees here. I now know that this point is square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. Now I'm going to inscribe a rectangle so we can figure out what these other points are. This is not drawn very well, but it is what it is. And I'm going to draw in some diagonals here on my rectangle. Okay, so in the previous video, we were working on this with symmetry. Well, if this is my x and this is my y, I'm going to come over here and say, well, you know what? On this point, my y value didn't change, but my x value is negative. Now also, for us to find this angle, we said that we would do 180 degrees minus 30 degrees. So that makes this 150 degrees. Now at this point, we know that my x value stayed the same, negative square root of 3 over 2, but now my y value is actually negative. So it's coming down, it's negative because this is a half a distance, this is a negative half. All right, now to find this angle right here, well, we did 180 degrees plus 30 degrees, so this angle would be 210 degrees. And then, of course, this point right here, we know that the x values stay the same, the square root of 3 over 2, and these y values stay the same, which is a negative 1/2. And then to find this angle right here, we did 360 degrees minus my 30 degrees, which gives me 330 degrees. All right, so then I can come over here and I can draw these in. I know, let's see, 150 degrees is going to be over in here. So I know now this point is negative square root of 3 over 2, 1/2. I know coming straight through here, this point, which is now going to be my 210 degrees, is negative square root of 3 over 2, negative 1/2. And then, of course, drawing this in, I know that that angle is going to, at this point, is going to be the square root of 3 over 2, negative 1/2. Now, we would repeat this process for 45 degrees and 60 degrees. I'm going to leave that to you to do to finish filling out your unit circle. So this is how the unit circle is created. It is, quite frankly, it's going to be a very useful tool. In pre-cal going forward in my class, if I ask for an exact answer, your answer is going to come from the unit circle. If I do not ask for an exact answer, and it's going to say an estimate, or I'm going to tell you to round, that's going to be a clear indication you're going to have to use a calculator because it will not come from the unit circle. But if I use that word, give me an exact answer, the answer is going to come somehow off of this unit circle. Hi, I'm Mr. Buzzard, and these videos are supplemental instruction for my students. If you found the video enjoyable, make sure you click the like button and click subscribe, as well as the bell for notifications to receive future videos on high school mathematics.